Everything works.
Okay.
A deck works, an article works, a video works, an infographic works, a picture works. It just, are you good at it?
Let's talk about small business marketing. A lot of small business owners in here.
Yep.
And quite a few very small, insulting, but just getting rolling.
Yeah, one or two people.
So what can they do? I know you've answered it 100 times. Is there anything new that's come to your mind lately that a small business could utilize?
How many people here are a 1 to 5 person company and does B2B work? Raise your hands. Great. So that world is something I've been thinking a lot about. Like I can't, and I'm gonna beat this drum. I can't push you more towards producing a lot of LinkedIn content. And you should be putting out your best advice. The amount of agencies that today exist in 1 to 10 person form, that the entire agency is built on all the free content that I've put out, is staggering. And that makes me happy, not upset. And so I always say, I give advice that I take myself. I think that if you're a consultancy or a B2B company, you need to be putting out free content on LinkedIn of your best thoughts and ideas of what you actually want to do for those people. If you're selling advice, you should be giving it away for free. And that seems countercultural, and a lot of people don't believe it. I just don't think people understand the supply and demand curve. I don't think people understand how people make buying decisions and how trust and reputation is built. And I think people are naive to the new realities.
Cool. So LinkedIn, what types of content, like format-wise, are you seeing resonate the most for B2B?
Everything works.
Okay.
A deck works, an article works, a video works, an infographic works, a picture works. It just, are you good at it? This is one big game of self-awareness, not what's the best format. Do you know how many people in here have tried to make videos on LinkedIn and that was a really bad idea? They're not good at it. The same way that if I wrote instead of having my videos transcribed into written, it would be a disaster. I've written 5 New York Times best-selling books and my English teachers are laughing. I can't put 3 sentences together. I do all my copy on Instagram. I'm sure you see things. So, that's the reality. So I think every format works. The key is understanding what format works for you in the best way that you communicate. So many people think video has to be the way because it does well, it's very visual, but there are plenty of people that are super introverted, writing incredibly thoughtful pieces, doing extremely well.
I think that's huge. It's all about self-awareness with the content, whatever your strong suit is what it should really be. I feel like.
And that doesn't mean you shouldn't challenge yourself.
Right.
It's fun to see if you can flex that muscle, but there is no format that disproportionately feels to me that you ever need to lean into, because look, this is also how the algorithms work. People used to argue back in the day with me, like, Gary, Facebook's vigging video. I'm like, sure, Facebook's vigging groups now. That's what's showing up in your feed. They will change based on people's behavior. Radio was super dead 4 years ago. Podcast is super lit today.
With a podcast, everybody is literally making a podcast, which is great. How are you going to stand out with a podcast?
The same thing that's always happened. Everybody's got an Instagram account. Everybody has a Twitter account. These were all the questions I was asked. Gary, this is super deja vu. Gary, you won on email marketing. Now everybody has an email newsletter. How are you going to stand out? Be better. Gary, now everyone's on YouTube. How are you going to stand out? Be better. The reality is, a podcast, yes, everybody thinks it's a supply and demand game. It's not, it's a quality game. Of course, early movers get advantages. But that ship has sailed for podcasts. You should have been doing that 6 years ago if you wanted those outsized results in supply and demand. Now it becomes a game of being more narrow in expertise or just being fundamentally better.
I think people miss that literally have to be good at everything. Like when we're putting out content, like if I'm not good at video, I shouldn't be putting it out. It doesn't matter.
Everyone's super attracted to the first. Like everybody rolls up and be like, tell me what's next? I'm like, I have no idea. I just know what's happening. Like I was super hot on Musical.ly, then it got bought by TikTok. I didn't realize TikTok would be having this moment that it has right now, but it matters right now for under 18, and so like I'm spending a lot of time on it. And then it might not. Most of what I learned about Instagram video, I learned on Vine, and before that, Social Cam. Vine, some people are shaking their heads in here. Social Cam, everyone's like, what? The app was like big for like 48 seconds. So, that's what I'm spending time on.